Ribhu Atyantam Tanmayam Vakshye Durlabham Yoginamapi Vedashastreshu Deveshu Rahasyamati Durlabham.
That which is exceedingly full of that I shall tell you. Even for yogis it is hard to attain. It is a secret hard to find in the Vedas and the Shastras and among the gods.
Yah param brahma sarvatma Satchidananda vigraha Sarvatma paramatma hi Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That which is the supreme Brahma, the self of everything, the embodiment of being, consciousness, bliss, Sat, Chit, Anand, the self of all, verily the supreme, ever abide in that.
Atma rupamidam sarvam Adyantarahito jayah Karya karyamidam nasti Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
Of the form of the self is all this, without beginning or end, the invincible, which is neither action nor inaction, ever abide in that.
Yatra dvaita bhayam nasti Yatra dvaita prabodhanam Shanta shanta dvayam nasti Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is no fear of the second, wherein awakens non-duality, wherein the pair of peace and anxiety are absent, ever abide in that.
Yatra sankalpakam nasti Yatra bhrantirna vidyate Tadeva hi matir nasti Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is nothing that wills, wherein delusion is unknown, wherein again the mind is not, ever abide in that.
Yatra brahmani nastyeva Yatra bhavi vikalpanam Yatra sarvam jagannasti Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is nothing as in Brahma, wherein there is neither the false notion of in-becoming, wherein the entire world is not, ever abide in that.
Yatra bhavam abhavam va Manobhranti vikalpanam Yatra bhrantirna varta va Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which thought and thoughtlessness or the wavering due to mental delusion is not, wherein the talk of delusion is not, ever abide in that.
Yatra nasti sukham nasti Deho hamiti rupakam Sarva sankalpa nirmuktam Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is no pleasure, nothing to formulate I am the body idea, which is absolutely divested of all will or desire, ever abide in that.
Yatra brahma vina bhavo Yatra dosho na vidyate Yatra dvandva bhayam nasti Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which any thought devoid of Brahma and defects are unknown, wherein the apprehension of pairs of opposites are non-existent, ever abide in that.
Yatra vakkaya karyam va Yatra kalpolayam gataha Yatra prapancham notpannam Tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which actions of speech and body and great periods of time have undergone dissolution, wherein the world does not manifest, ever abide in that.
यत्र माया प्रकाशो न माया कार्यं न किंचन यत्र दृश्यमदृश्यं वा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no expression of delusion, nor the activity of illusion, where the seen has disappeared, ever abide in that.
विद्वान् विद्यापि नास्त्येव यत्र पक्षविपक्षकौ न यत्र दोषादोषो वा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no scholar or scholarship, where there is no one's own side or opposite side, where there is no defect or non-defect, ever abide in that.
यत्र विष्णुत्वभेदो न यत्र ब्रह्मा न विद्यते यत्र शंकरभेदो न तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there are no distinctions such as Vishnu, in which Brahma does not exist, where there is no distinction such as Shiva, ever abide in that.
न यत्र सदसद्भेदो न यत्र कलनापदं न यत्र जीवकलना तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there are not distinctions as real or unreal, where there is no state of cognition, where there is no cognition of the individual, ever abide in that.
न यत्र शंकरध्यानं न यत्र परमं पदं न यत्र कलनाकारं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no meditation of Shankara, where there is no supreme state, no form of comprehension, ever abide in that.
न यत्राणुर्महत्त्वं च यत्र सन्तोषकल्पनं यत्र प्रपञ्चमाभासं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is nothing atomic or cosmic, no fabrication of happiness, where the world becomes not, ever abide in that.
न यत्र देहकलनं न यत्र हि कुतूहलं न यत्र चित्तकलनं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no recognition of the body, in which there is no curiosity, inquisitiveness, in which there is no conception of the mind, ever abide in that.
न यत्र बुद्धिविज्ञानं न यत्रात्मा मनोमयः न यत्र कामकलनं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no intellectual knowledge, where there is no self full of mind, where there is no conception of desire, ever abide in that.
न यत्र मोक्षविश्रान्तिर्यत्र बन्धत्वविग्रह न यत्र शाश्वतं ज्ञानं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no repose of liberation, where there is no form of bondage, where there is no permanent knowledge, ever abide in that.
न यत्र कालकलनं यत्र दुःखत्वभावनं न यत्र देहकलनं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no calculation of time, where there is no feeling of sorrow, where there is no perception of body, ever abide in that.
न यत्र जीववैराग्यं यत्र शास्त्रविकल्पनं यत्राहमहमात्मत्वं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no dispassion of the individual, where there is no confusion of the scriptures, where I am, of the self myself, ever abide in that.
न यत्र जीवनमुक्तिर्वा यत्र देहविमोचनं यत्र संकल्पितं कार्यं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no liberation while alive, where there is no liberation of the body, where there is no proposed activity, ever abide in that.
न यत्र भूतकलनं यत्रान्यत्वप्रभावनं न यत्र जीवभेदो वा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no conception of beings, wherein there is no influence of separation, wherein there is no distinction of individuals either, ever abide in that.
यत्रानन्दपदं ब्रह्म यत्रानन्दपदं सुखं यत्रानन्दगुणं नित्यं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which the state of bliss is Brahma, wherein the blissful state is joy, wherein the quality of the bliss is eternal, ever abide in that.
न यत्र वस्तु प्रभवं न यत्रापजयो जयः न यत्र वाक्यकथनं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no manifestation of things, wherein there is no defeat or victory, wherein there is no narration of sentences, ever abide in that.
न यत्रात्मविचाराङ्गं न यत्र श्रवणाकुलं न यत्र च महानन्दं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no branch of inquiry into the self, wherein there is no yearning to listen, wherein there is no great bliss too, ever abide in that.
न यत्र हि सजातीयं विजातीयं न यत्र हि न यत्र स्वगतं भेदं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no homogeneity, wherein there is no heterogeneity, wherein there is no difference within, ever abide in that.
न यत्र नरको घोरो न यत्र स्वर्गसम्पदः न यत्र ब्रह्मलोको वा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no terrifying hell, wherein there is no wealth of heaven, wherein there is no realm of Brahma, ever abide in that.
न यत्र विष्णुसायुज्यं यत्र कैलासपर्वतः ब्रह्माण्डमण्डलं यत्र तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no union with Vishnu, wherein there is no mount of Kailasha, wherein there is no sphere or the cosmic egg, ever abide in that.
न यत्र भूषणं यत्र दूषणं वा न विद्यते न यत्र समता दोषं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no praise, wherein there is no slander, wherein there is no defect of equanimity, ever abide in that.
न यत्र मनसा भावो न यत्र सविकल्पनं न यत्रानुभवं दुःखं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is no expression through the mind, wherein there is no contradiction, wherein there is no experience of sorrow, ever abide in that.
यत्र पापभयं नास्ति पञ्चपापादपि क्वचित् न यत्र संगदोषं वा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which fear of sin or the 5 types of sins exists not in the least, wherein there is no defect of attachment, ever abide in that.
Yatra tapatrayam nasti, yatra jivatrayam kvachit, yatra vishwavikalpakhyam, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the triad of afflictions is not, wherein the triad of individual consciousness is not, wherein the universe is said to be unreal, ever abide in that.
Na yatra bodhamutpannam, na yatra jagatam brahmah, na yatra karanakaram, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is no generation of knowledge, wherein there is no delusion of the world, wherein there is no form of the instruments of activity, ever abide in that.
Na yatra hi manorajyam, yatraiva paramam sukham, yatra vaishashvatam sthanam, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which there is no dominion of the mind, wherein lies supreme happiness, verily, wherein is a state of permanence, ever abide in that.
Yatra vaikaranam shantam, yatraiva sakalam sukham, yadgatva na nivartante, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which is the cause of peace, verily, wherein is all-round happiness, attaining which there is no return, ever abide in that.
Yad gyatva muchyate sarvam, yad gyatva anyanya vidyate, yad gyatva nanya vijnanam, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
By realizing which everything is realized, by realizing which nothing is left to be known, realizing which there is no other knowledge, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva dosham notpannam, yatraiva sthana nishchalah, yatraiva jiva sangatah, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which defect does not arise, wherein is the motionless state, wherein alone the individual is indeed destroyed, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva nityatruptatma, yatraiva ananda nishchalam, yatraiva nishchalam shantam, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the self eternally is satisfied, wherein is undisturbed bliss, wherein is undisturbed peace, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva sarvasaukyam va, yatraiva sannirupanam, yatraiva nischayakaram, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which is the all-round bliss, wherein indeed is the being realized, wherein indeed is the embodiment of certitude, ever abide in that.
Nayatraham nayatratvam, nayatratvam swayam swayam, yatraiva nischayam shantam, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which I am not, wherein you are not, wherein you yourself are not yourself, wherein is the peace of certitude, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva modate nityam, yatraiva sukhamedyate, yatra dukkha bhayam nasti, tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which one rejoices eternally, wherein joy flourishes, wherein there is no fear of sorrow, ever abide in that.
यत्रैव चिन्मयाकारं यत्रैवानन्दसागरः यत्रैव परमं साक्षात् तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which is the embodiment of consciousness, wherein indeed is the ocean of bliss, wherein the Supreme is directly realized, ever abide in that.
यत्रैव स्वयमेवात्र स्वयमेव तदेव हि स्वस्वात्मनोक्तभेदोऽस्ति तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which is indeed oneself, wherein oneself is verily that, wherein that which is referred to as oneself is not, ever abide in that.
यत्रैव परमानन्दं स्वयमेव सुखं परं यत्रैवाभेदकलनं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is the bliss of transcendence, wherein oneself is the supreme joy, wherein indeed is the expression of non-difference, ever abide in that.
न यत्र चाणुमात्रं वा न यत्र मनसोमलं न यत्र च ददाम्येव तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which there is not even an atom, wherein there is no blemish of the mind, and wherein there is no such thing as I give, ever abide in that.
यत्र चित्तं मृतं देहं मनोमरणमात्मनः यत्र स्मृतिर्लयं याति तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which the mind stuff is dead, one's body and mind have deceased, wherein memory has undergone dissolution, ever abide in that.
यत्रैवाहं मृतो नूनं यत्र कामो लयं गतः यत्रैव परमानन्दं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which I am dead, wherein desire is expired, wherein alone is supreme joy, ever abide in that.
यत्र देवास्त्रयो लीनं यत्र देहादयो मृतः न यत्र व्यवहारोऽस्ति तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which the Trinity of gods have merged, wherein the body and the rest are dead, wherein there is no activity, ever abide in that.
यत्र मग्नो निरायासो यत्र मग्नो न पश्यति यत्र मग्नो न जन्मादि तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
Merging in which there is no exhaustion, merging in which one does not see, merging in which there are no births, ever abide in that.
यत्र मग्नो न चाभाति यत्र जाग्रन्न विद्यते यत्रैव मोहमरणं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
Merging in which reflection ceases to be, wherein waking is unknown, wherein delusion is indeed dead, ever abide in that.
यत्रैव कालमरणं यत्र योगो लयं गतः यत्र सत्संगतिर्निष्ठा तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That in which indeed time suffers death, wherein yoga undergoes dissolution, wherein indeed the resolve of right association, satsanga, ceases, ever abide in that.
यत्रैव ब्रह्मणो रूपं यत्रैवानन्दमात्रकं यत्रैव परमानन्दं तन्मयो भव सर्वदा.
That which indeed is the form of Brahman, wherein indeed is bliss alone, wherein indeed is supreme bliss, ever abide in that.
Yatra vishvam kvacchinnasti yatra nasti tato jagat yatrantah karanam nasti tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the universe does not exist in the least, wherein there is no world, wherein the inner faculties do not exist, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva sukhamatram cha yatraiva anandamatrakam yatraiva varmanandam tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which joy alone is, wherein bliss alone is, wherein indeed is supreme bliss, ever abide in that.
Yatra sanmatra chaitanyam yatra chinmatra matrakam yatra anandamayam bhati tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which only consciousness of being exists, wherein there is just consciousness alone, wherein shines the fullness of bliss, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshat param brahma yatra sakshat swayam param yatra shantam param lakshyam tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the supreme Brahma is directly present, wherein oneself is verily the supreme, wherein peace is the supreme goal, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshad khandartham yatra sakshat parayanam yatra nashadikam nasti tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the significance of the undivided, wherein evidently lies the support, wherein destruction and the rest are non-existent, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshat swayam matram yatra sakshat swayam jayam yatra sakshan mahanatma tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which oneself alone is, wherein oneself is verily the victory, wherein evidently is the great self, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshat param tattvam yatra sakshat swayam mahat yatra sakshat tu vijnanam tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which is the supreme truth, wherein oneself is verily greatness, wherein lies direct knowledge, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshat gunatitam yatra sakshat dhinirmalam yatra sakshat sada shuddham tanmayo bhava sarvada.
That in which the transcendence of qualities is evident, indeed, wherein evidently is blemishness, wherein evidently is eternal purity, ever abide in that.
Yatra sakshan mahanatma yatra sakshat sukhat sukham yatraiva jnana vijnanam tanmayo bhava sarvada.
Wherein directly is the supreme self, wherein directly is the joy of joys, where indeed is knowledge and wisdom, ever abide in that.
Yatraiva hi swayam jyotir yatraiva swayam advayam yatraiva paramanandam tanmayo bhava sarvada.
Wherein indeed oneself is the light, wherein indeed oneself is without a second, wherein indeed lies the supreme bliss, ever abide in that.
एवं तन्मय भावोक्तम् एवं नित्यश नित्यशः ब्रह्महं सच्चिदानन्दम् अखण्डोऽहं सदा सुखम्.
Thus, the practice of being I absorbed in that has been told. Practice this alone and ever. Brahma, I am. Existence, consciousness, bliss, Sat, Chit, Anand, I am. Undivided, I am. Ever joyous, I am.
विज्ञानं ब्रह्ममात्रोऽहं सशान्तं परमोऽस्म्यहम् चिदहं चित्तहीनोऽहं नाहं सोऽहं भवाम्यहम्.
I am wisdom, that is Brahma alone. I am He, the serene and the supreme. I am consciousness, devoid of mind stuff. I am not. I am resolved as that.
तदहं चिदहं सोऽहं निर्मलोऽहमहं परं परोऽहं परमोऽहं वै सर्वं त्यज्य सुखी भव.
I am that. I am consciousness. I am He. I am blemishless. I am supreme. I am the highest. I am verily the supreme. Divested thus of everything, be happy.
इदं सर्वं चित्तशेषं शुद्धत्व कमलीकृतम् एवं सर्वं परित्यज्य विस्मृत्वा शुद्धकाष्ठवत्.
All this residue of mind stuff spoils the purity. Divested of all this, having forgotten everything, is mere dead wood.
प्रेते वद्देहं संत्यज्य काष्ठवल्लोष्ठवत् सदा स्मरणं च परित्यज्य ब्रह्ममात्र परो भव.
Renouncing the corpse-like body, remaining ever as a log or a piece of metal, casting aside remembrance too, abide in Brahma alone as support.
एतत् प्रकरणं यस्तु शृणोति सकृदस्ति वा महापातकयुक्तोऽपि सर्वं त्यक्त्वा परं गतः.
One who listens to this explanation even once, perhaps even if one should be associated with great sins, is freed from all and reaches the Most High.
अंगावबद्धा विरूपासनाभिर्वदन्ति वेदा किल त्वामसङ्गम् समास्तरतघोषविशेषसङ्गम् भूमानमात्मानमखण्डरूपम्. ॐ नमः शिवाय.
Though shining in diverse forms, you are unattached to them, so the Vedas proclaim. Though firmly associated in the heart cavern of all beings, you are the undivided ground, the Self. Om Namah Shivaya.